15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offence.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikunle Amosun.
You're welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I'm Nicholas Akosile Walter. Here are the news making the headlines. Federal government declares Wednesday, Thursday, Eid-al-Fitr holidays. South Africa's ANC names new Secretary General. Rockets fired from Gaza from major clashes. Federal government unveils documents on gold mining to attract investors. Cavani extends Man United contract till 2022. Please stay with us as we bring you details of the news after the short break. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. Now, the news in full. Federal government declares Wednesday, Thursday, Eid-al-Fitr holidays. The federal government of Nigeria has declared Wednesday and Thursday as public holiday to mark this year's Eid-al-Fitr celebration. The Minister of Interior, Ralph Aregbesola, while making the declaration on behalf of the federal government, congratulated Muslim faithfuls. He called on all Nigerians to use the period to pray for peace, stability, and economic transformation in the land. This was contained in a statement by the ministry's permanent secretary, Dr. Shuaib Belgore. The statement titled Federal Government Declares Wednesday 12th, Thursday 13th May 2021 as public holiday to mark Eid-al-Fitr celebration urged Nigerians to be law-abiding and embrace the spirit of love, self-discipline, tolerance. Aregbesola assured all of the reserve of the regime of President Muhammadu Buhari to end the scourge of crime and criminality in the country. Moving forward quickly, resident doctors delay strike after meeting Gbajabiamila. The National Association of Resident Doctors says it has decided to delay its intended strike as a goodwill gesture to the Speaker, House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, who has been making efforts to address his demands. In a statement jointly signed by the President, Uyilawa Okwahesui, Secretary General Jerry Isogu, and Social Secretary Dotun Oshikoya of the association, the group commended the Speaker of his interest in the group and decided to delay his strike for 3 weeks. According to NERD, the Speaker deserves a special commendation for the uncommon interest he has shown to matters affecting association and for the promotion of healthcare delivery in the country, hence the need to honor him by delaying the intended strike. According to the statement, the Speaker visited the association's National Secretariat on the 13th of April and promised that demands will be met. The statement further stated that the Speaker on the 29th of April summoned a meeting where federal government officials and heads of medical facilities were present. Recall that the resident doctors had embarked on an indefinite strike on the 1st of April 2021 due to the government's inability to address issues raised by the association, but later called it off. The association was billed to embark on a fresh strike on May 7th, but it shelved the idea due to Gbajabiamila's intervention. Quickly, in another development, Lagos plans fresh ban on Okada and Keke and releases minibuses. The Lagos state government has resolved to ban the use of motorcycles and tricycles, commonly called keke, in the state, citing security concerns. The state advised residents to access opportunities provided in agriculture and empowerment programs of the state. This was contained in a communique issued after a stakeholders meeting at the Adeyemi Bero Auditorium, Alausa Secretariat in Ikeja. The meeting was attended by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, the Chief Judge Kazim Aloba, the Commissioner of Police Hakim Odumosu, traditional and religious leaders, members of the civil society, among others. The governor said the string of lawlessness daily witnessed from the confrontation between commercial motorcyclists and law enforcement agencies requires urgent action. Sanwo-Olu said from next week, the state would be inaugurating the first and last mile buses next week, which would take the routes the motorcycles were plying. The State Commissioner of Police Odumosun raised the alarm over rising insecurity breaches from the menace of bike operations in the state. He said between January and early this month, 320 commercial motorcycles were impounded in 218 cases of criminal incidents, in which 78 suspects were detained and 480 ammunitions recovered. In the same period, the Lagos Police Boss said Okada accounted for 83% of 385 cases of avoidable fatal vehicular accidents in Lagos. And quickly, coming from around Africa, South Africa's ANC names new Secretary General. The African National Congress, ANC, South Africa's ruling party, has appointed a new Secretary General, J.C. Doughty, after ACE Magashule was suspended on Thursday on corruption charges, South Africa President Cyril Ramaphosa announced. Last week, Elias Magashule, nicknamed ACA, became the first senior party official to be temporarily sidelined in the wake of the ANC's new anti-corruption policy. This is a victory for Cyril Ramaphosa, who has vowed to eradicate corruption. At the end of March, ACE Magashule was given a 30-day ultimatum to step down after being accused of misappropriating public funds while serving as Premier of the Free State, one of South Africa's 9 provinces. Refusing to resign, he finally forced the party to suspend him. At the end of a 3-day ANC meeting, Cyril Ramaphosa announced that J.C. Doughty, the Deputy Secretary General since 2012, will, in accordance with the ANC Constitution, perform the functions assigned to the Secretary General. After his suspension was announced, the senior official said he was not going anywhere, and instead of stepping down, he wrote a letter to Cyril Ramaphosa asking him to temporarily step down as president, citing his powers as party Secretary General. These comments were deemed totally unacceptable and a flagrant violation of the party's rules, which demanded a public apology or face further disciplinary action. And still coming from around Africa, Madagascar starts COVID-19 vaccinations after a surge in cases. Madagascar rolled out its COVID-19 vaccination campaign. Health Minister Jean-Louis Hennitrala Rokotovo was among the first to be inoculated in the capital, Antananarivo. The Indian Ocean Island nation received its first shipment of 250,000 AstraZeneca jabs on Saturday. They followed a surge in infections, which saw some schools and community centers transformed into treatment facilities. President Andrei Rajoelina has been criticized for his handling of the pandemic. Until recently, he had been promoting a herbal concoction as a cure for the virus, prompting a warning from the World Health Organization. Madagascar has registered 37,874 infections including at least 716 deaths. Last month, President Rajolina said the Sinopharm, Pfizer, and Covishield vaccines would also be used in the country's vaccination drive. We're going a very short break. When we come back, we're going to bring you updates from Israel. Please don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
June, we are having a Holy Ghost conference, and we are believing God for a great move of God.
Hi everyone, this is Sinach, and I am excited to announce that I will be with the Omega Fire Ministries in Auchi, Edo State for the Holy Ghost Conference. I want you to all come out and let's have a time with the Holy Ghost. God bless you.
Holy Ghost Conference 2021. Apostle Johnson and Dr. Lizzie Suleiman. This June.
You're welcome back and thanks for joining us. Once again now, updates from Israel. Rockets fired from Gaza after major clashes. Rockets have been fired towards Jerusalem from Gaza amid tensions between Israel and the Palestinians. Our foreign correspondent has the rest of the story.
Rockets have been fired towards Jerusalem from Gaza amid tensions between Israel and the Palestinians. Gaza's Hamas rulers had threatened to strike after hundreds of Palestinians were injured in clashes with Israeli police. Israeli military spokesman Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Conricus said Israel had killed 3 Hamas militants. The Hamas-run Palestinian Health Ministry in Gaza said 9 people, including a number of children, had died in the Israeli strikes. The past few days have seen the worst violence in Jerusalem for years, with more than 300 Palestinians wounded in confrontations with Israeli police outside the Al-Aqsa Mosque. The Jerusalem Day event marks Israel's capture of East Jerusalem, home to the Old City and its holy sites, in 1967, and usually sees hundreds of flag-waving Israeli youths make their way through the Muslim quarter via Damascus Gate, chanting and singing patriotic songs. It is regarded by many Palestinians as a deliberate provocation. This year's march would also have taken place in the final days of the Islamic holy month of Ramadan. Belly Squatter reporting for Celebration TV News Desk.
Updates from China. Data shows China's slowest population growth in decades. China's population grew at its slowest pace in decades according to government data released today. And the average annual growth rate was 0.53% over the past 10 years, down from a rate of 0.57% between 2000 and 2010, bringing the population to 1.41 billion. The results adds pressure on Beijing to boost measures for couples to have more babies and avert a population decline. The results were announced in a once-a-decade census which was originally expected to be released in April. The census was conducted in late 2020, where some 7 million census takers had gone door-to-door to collect information from Chinese households. Given the sheer number of people surveyed, it is considered the most comprehensive resource on China's population, which is important for future planning. Nin Jizhe, head of the National Bureau of Statistics, revealed that 12 million babies were born last year, a significant decrease from the 18 million newborns in 2016. However, he added that it was still a considerable number. As countries become more developed, birth rates tend to fall due to education or other priorities such as careers. Quickly, we'll go on business news right now. Federal government unveils document on gold mining to attract investors. As part of measures to grow revenue and attract investors to the mining industry, the federal government, in collaboration with the United Nations Industrial Development Organizations, unveiled policy documents on gold mining in Nigeria. UNIDO, alongside Nigeria's Ministry of Environment, Mines and Steel Development, as well as Health, jointly unveiled the National Action Plan for the reduction and eventual elimination of mercury use in the artisanal and small-scale gold mining sector in Nigeria. The parties also unveiled a national policy on solid waste management as well as national policy on plastic waste management at the event in Abuja. The regional director and UNIDO representative to ECOWAS, UNIDO Regional Hub Nigeria, Jean Bakole, said the policy document was an obligation for Nigeria as a party under the Minamata Convention and would help drive investments in the mining sector. The Minister of State for Environment, Sharon Ikeazo, said numerous challenges were preventing the effective growth of the mining and waste sectors. And still on business news, flight restrictions will limit foreign investments, experts warn. Experts have warned that restrictions on flights would limit the flow of foreign direct investments into the country. Financial analyst Ovie Ogidiaka, in an interview, said flight restrictions would impact Nigeria's economy negatively. He explained that flight restrictions on certain countries would lead to loss of revenue and downsizing in the aviation sector. Travel expert Olubi Oluwajoba said although restrictions and measures put in place by the federal government were done with probity, travel agencies were feeling the heat. Oluwajoba explained that thousands of Nigerians visit Dubai regularly, but added that since February, the number had greatly reduced. He noted that the first concern of a leader should be the safety of the people. He added that the federal government had expressed these by flight restrictions to countries that are currently the home of COVID-19. The United Nations Conference on the Trade and Development World Investment Report for 2020 review is that foreign investments to Nigeria totaled $3.3 billion in 2019, while total stock of FDI was estimated at $98.6 billion. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll bring you sport news. Please don't go anywhere.
June, we are having a Holy Ghost conference, and we are believing God for a great move of God.
Hi everyone, this is Sinach, and I am excited to announce that I will be with the Omega Fire Ministries in Auchi, Edo State for the Holy Ghost Conference. I want you to all come out and let's have a time with the Holy Ghost. God bless you.
Holy Ghost Conference 2021. Apostle Johnson and Dr. Lizzie Suleiman. This June.
You welcome sports news. Cavani extends Man United contract till 2022. Edison Cavani will remain at Manchester United next season after the on-form Uruguayan signed a one-year contract extension. The 34-year-old Uruguayan has scored 15 goals in his first season in England, including 8 in his last 7 games, to help United to second place in the Premier League and to the final of the Europa League. United boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had repeatedly stressed his desire for Cavani to remain at Old Trafford despite reports the striker was keen to return to South America. United could end a 4-year trophy drought when they face Villarreal in the Europa League final on May 26 and are set to match their best Premier League finish since legendary former manager Alex Ferguson retired in 2013. Cavani's form in recent months has played a major part in that success after a slow start to his time in Manchester. United are in action twice in the next 3 days at home to Leicester and Liverpool in the Premier League. Defeat in either game or 2 draws would end the Red Devils' small chances of catching Manchester City at the top of the table for the first league title in 8 years. City are 10 points clear, but have played a game more than their local rivals. In another sports news, quickly, Fulham relegated from Premier League after Burnley loss. Fulham were relegated from the Premier League with a 2-0 loss at home to Burnley that has shot the Clarets of their top-flight status. The result meant London club Fulham would join already demoted West Bromwich Albion and Sheffield United in the second-tier championship next season. Scott Parker's side had to avoid defeat to maintain their slim hopes of beating the drop. But those hopes were all but ended by first-half goals from Burnley's Ashley Westwood and Chris Wood. Fulham manager Parker responded to a 2-0 derby defeat by Chelsea by recalling Alexander Mitrovic and Kenny Tete to his starting 11. By contrast, Burnley boss Cian Daiche made no changes to his side that lost 2-1 at home to West Ham last week. And that has brought us to the news on Celebration Television News Desk. In case you missed out, here's the news headline recap. Federal government declares Wednesday and Thursday Eid-al-Fitr holidays. South Africa ANC names new Secretary General. Rockets fired from Gaza after major clashes. Federal government unveils documents on gold mining to attract investors. And Cavani extends Man United contract till 2022. Quickly, we have photo of the day. We have photo of the day. Can you see that picture right now? Photo of the day simply states that the first step to failure is looking at your obstacle and not your goals. You could see that man on top of a mountain, a hill, looking downwards. You can drop your comment on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we have Celebration TV, Instagram, My Celebration TV, Twitter does at My Celebration TV, and on YouTube, Celebration TV. Always remember that your positive contribution to the wellness of the society you find yourself or the organization you work defines your leadership mind. As an individual who knows what to do and do without expecting to be pushed has backed his ways to success. Be it known today that everything we do, think, feel, and believe either has a positive or negative effect on humanity and our national well-being. Be a part of nation building today. Thank you once more for staying with us on our news desk. Many thanks once again. I remain Nicholas Akosele Walter. Nice day. Amounted to 15.7 trillion naira by the end of December 2018.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offence.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikule Amosu.